Okay, so in this one, I think this is number 4, we're going to do a double treble this time, or double treble as I like to call it. We'll do the slip knot exactly the same as before. If this is the first one you've seen, then I strongly suggest you go and start at the beginning of number 1, which is a lot slower. So we're going to do our chain, which we've done now. This is the 4th lot, so I don't need to do that in a slow way. So just make enough chain for your swatch, and I will say if I'm too quick, just pause it and catch up with me once you've got your chain. Now we don't need lots, just a few, okay? So when it comes to double trebles, they are tall. And you might see a pattern where they'll say in the 4th or 5th chain, do your double treble. So we talked about turning chains in the last one, and as I've said to you, I don't really do them. So you might see that on this as well, and on all of them, all of the stitches you might see. You don't have to do them, you can do this, but you need to make sure the stitch count is fine. So what do I mean by that? If I'm doing the stack, then I always go in the 2nd chain from the hook. So if they say it's a multiple of 4 stitches plus 4, they obviously do those 4 stitches for that turning chain. So you need to make sure you only have plus 2. Okay, so there's the first one, there's the second. I'm going to do the stack. So I'm going to put in my hook, pull up my yarn over and pull through 2, and go in this left leg here. Oops, go in that left leg. Easier said than done with the camera between. And I'm going to yarn over and pull through those 2. Now this one is taller, so I'm going to go back into that left leg there, yarn over and pull up a loop. I'm going to yarn over and pull through those. So if you look at the side, 1, 2, 3 chains. Okay, so I'm going to yarn around twice and go in the next chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. So we've got 4 now. I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. We're going to yarn around twice. We're going to go into the next one. You can see where you've worked. This is your next one. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Bit leggy and long. Yarn round twice, into the next one, yarn over and pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. It is very rare that you'll be ever doing a row of these, but we are while we're practicing. Several rows maybe. We just do this in every single chain. I have used this stitch quite a bit in some granny squares, and when I've been making, say, a circle or a shape into a square, so whether it's a heart shape which you want to make into a granny square, or you know, any sort of circle shape that you've been working on, sometimes I'll use this stitch, but I will not use it, as you can see it here, because I've done my chains a bit tight again, because it is just a bit of a big, tall, ugly stitch, really. But it is necessary to learn it, because there are... Oh, let's split. Let's do it again. I think it's this yarn, to be honest with you, but it's such a pretty colour, but it does like to split on me. I think it doesn't help that there's a camera between. Okay, so we're almost at the end. Almost, but not. The first row is always the hardest, going into the chain. If I go ahead of you, just pause it and catch up with me. And it's a great pause button. Okay, so let me know in the comments what you think of this stitch. It's not pretty, but like I said, it's necessary to learn, because you might find it in a pattern or a tutorial you watch, just suddenly in there when there's a really tall stitch needed. Okay, we're all the way to the end, so we're going to turn. So what I'm trying to tell you about the turning chains then is that some people might say chain 3, skip that first stitch and go in to the next one like this. And there's nothing wrong with that. Although they aren't pretty, they don't look the same, and you don't get the 2 loops at the top of your stitch the same way. And some people even say do 4, and then you get that bulge sticking out the side that we had when we did the UK Treble Crochet. So in that first stitch, which you can see where you're coming out of, that's where we do the stacked treble for the UK. Well, no, for the US actually. Stacked double treble for the UK. So there we are. It's up 3 high, and then we yarn over twice, go into the next one. It's so much easier when you're going through stitches, not the chain. So you come out of this one, this is your next stitch, yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, simple all the way along. Just need to practice this one. That's all that's left to do, really. Go all the way to the end, turn, just practice doing it. So the reason I've opted to show you the stack, which, you know, some people when they're teaching wouldn't, I always think that it is best to teach the best technique first off, because there was nothing worse than learning something and then at the end of it someone saying, well, now you've mastered that, perhaps you can do it this way. You know, we can do it that way in the beginning. We don't have to kind of compromise it. Okay, nearly there. If I'm going much faster than you and I get to the end too quick or something, then just pause the video and catch up with me. We'll take a good look at this in a second. But like I said, this is a stitch that you would never really want to see row after row of it unless it was a feature of something, because it's just very holy. So the beauty of doing the stack, you've got the 2 loops at the end to go into. You haven't got any chains that look different or weird or confusing, and we've finished. We have 2 rows of this, and you know, it's not ugly, is it? Not really. It's just quite open is the only thing. So obviously I did my chain a bit tight again. You can give it a little tug, it will stretch out a little bit, but as I said on the previous video, if you've got a tendency to make a tight chain and it doesn't pull out too much, and you don't want it going in like that, just use a bigger hook to make your chain, and then, you know, switch straight after you've done the chain. You don't need a massive one, you know, you don't want like huge baggy chains, you want them to look nice and neat. But half a hook size, or maybe 1, but half a hook size should be sufficient. Okay, so if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you can like, share and hype this video, I really appreciate that, because it does help my channel a lot. And if you check out the videos that fly in at the end, I'll put parts 1, 2 and 3 already done on there. So if you haven't seen them yet, you can. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now. Oh, before I go, in the next one we'll do some increases and decreases.